Hey guys, what's going on? Jeff here from Films at Home, and today I'm back with another 4K review. This is one that you guys have been waiting for a long time, so I am very excited to finally get this video out there. And today we're taking a look at Zack Snyder's Justice League from Warner Brothers on 4K Blu-ray. Now, if you don't know the backstory on Zack Snyder's Justice League versus the Justice League movie that came out a few years back, there's a whole rabbit hole you can dive down on that. But the basis for this is that Zack Snyder created the Justice League movie. He was the director, he was the creative mind behind most of it, and then they stripped him off the project, replaced him with Joss Whedon, who did the Avengers, the original Avengers movie, and he completely changed the look and feel and the structure of the movie. Some people even saying that, 90% of the movie was changed. And so after many years and protests online on Twitter and hashtags trending and petitions, we got Zack Snyder's Justice League. It premiered on HBO Max earlier in 2021 as a streaming exclusive, and now finally in the US in September we got the 4K Blu-ray release. This 4K had been available in the UK for some time, very hard to find though, and so I just figured I'll wait for the US release. Got it in from Warner Brothers, and I'm super excited to dive into it and talk about all the kind of changes and things you should note about this release. So I won't be talking about the movie here. This is just visual, audio, packaging, special features, whether or not you should pick this up for your physical media collection. And so starting with the visuals, the first key thing to note is that this is in the 4:3 aspect ratio, or 1.33:1, and that means you are getting the letterboxed image, the same that you saw on HBO Max. You're going to have black bars on the left and the right of your screen, and that's normal. Now, a lot of people online were complaining about that. They were saying they wish it was widescreen. I saw people zooming in the image so that you could, fill your TV. I really don't think there's a need for any of that. I watched this on HBO Max. I think the presentation is awesome. If you've watched any sort of older movie, pre 1940, they use the Academy ratio, which is the same thing. If you've watched old TV shows on DVD or something, they're all letterboxed. After a few minutes, you stop noticing that and you just appreciate what you're watching. And so I would not recommend zooming in or anything or changing your aspect ratio. Go with what they gave you here. It's the way it was supposed to be watched. It's more of like an IMAX ratio, sort of like they did on Batman vs. Superman, the remastered edition. So if you like that, you're going to really enjoy this. But please, I would suggest not screwing with it, but you can do what you want. Now, the image quality here is fantastic, and it is a nice upgrade over the HBO Max 4K stream, which I watched earlier this year. I think the detail and the quality is much improved, as I would expect on physical media versus streaming, but it's just a much better image. The HDR really adds a lot as well. I think the HBO Max HDR is still very weak. They claim Dolby Vision HDR. I just haven't seen it on any of their streams where it really blew me away. This was a much better image, but you should note that, if you've watched the past Justice League movie, this is a totally different movie and a totally different look and feel. This is much more Batman versus Superman, where the previous Justice League movie with Joss Whedon felt a little Marvel-y. It was more colorful, it was a little goofier, and this is very dark, this is gritty, you got to worry about your black levels, your shadow detail, your gray uniformity. The way that blacks and grays and blues resolve on the screen is what we were really looking for here, and they do look awesome. Now, the occasional highlight where you get, the Flash running around, or these like plasma shots coming out of Batman's gun, even the nightmare sequence towards the end of the movie is really cool and has a nice color palette. Those do look good, and the highlights are very strong against what is a real dark and gritty background. So they really stand out in HDR, even things like Superman's cape, when they're showing that against this real dark background. It's like bang, it's in your face, and it looks really cool. Wonder Woman's outfit, of course, Cyborg, Flash, even Aquaman in some of the scenes with water, or his suit and the way that glimmers sometimes. There's some nice highlights, but definitely don't expect a Marvel Avengers level color here. This is dark and gritty. Black levels and shadow detail are what we cared about, and I think they all looked great. I didn't see any issues. I didn't see any cloudiness. It's a real deep, dark picture, and that's what we wanted. Now, the audio on this comes with a Dolby Atmos track, which is awesome, and it's a pretty good Atmos track. I wouldn't say it's reference quality, but it really gives every one of your speakers a workout. There were objects moving around the sound space, which was very cool to hear. It's not over the top. It's a little bit, it feels like a little bit of a 7.1 that they upmixed, you know, but even a 7.1, you know, HD track is really, really good. While it's not reference quality, it doesn't hit, you know, these massive room shaking moments. Dialogue is clear, surround effects are in full, you know, everything is what you'd want it to be. So I'd give it, you know, a solid like 4.5 out of 5, but I can't give it a 5 out of 5 like a Godzilla movie, because it lacks a few moments, but pretty good overall. Atmos is also available on the Blu-ray as well. So if you do decide to go with the Blu-ray, that is an option, but you'll at least get the audio experience. Now the packaging here features the same artwork we've been seeing for Zack Snyder's Justice League. They make it very clear that it is Zack Snyder's Justice League, which I like, both on the spine and on the front, so you know that you know what you're getting and you're not confusing the two. On the inside, this is where things get interesting. So both the Blu-ray and the 4K, you'll see disc 1 here, if you can see that. So each of these is a 2-disc set, and you are going to have to flip the disc, or not flip the disc, that's like, I'm talking like vinyl here, CDs. You're gonna have to change the disc. So you've got disc 1 for your 4K, and then you're gonna pop that out right here, disc 1. Disc 2 is in behind it, and they are just stacked. I really would have liked them to see them do some sort of swinging arm where you could have put like disc 1 and disc 2 on one side of the arm and something like that. I hate stacked discs, but they are stacked, and you are going to have to get up, you know, halfway through the movie to swap the disc out, just because of the sheer length of it, the amount of data that can fit in a 4K disc, and the fact that this is a very solid transfer. That's why it gets split across 2 discs. We've seen this with other movies like Lawrence of Arabia. It's just an unfortunate limitation of the 4K disc right now. These longer movies with high quality transfers just can't fit on a single 100 gigabyte 4K disc. Now, the other thing is, this does not come with a digital copy. That's most likely due to them pushing HBO Max. It even included an insert that had a QR code to scan and sign you up for HBO Max. So they're still very clearly using this title as an HBO Max driver. And the other thing is, you will not get the black and white version of the movie on the disc, which I thought was disappointing. That's still an HBO Max exclusive, which is what their little pamphlet that came in this said. They were promoting that fact that you had to go to HBO Max to watch Justice in Gray, which is the black and white version. I hate that they didn't put that on the disc. I would have liked to see a definitive release of this with all the different cuts, but I understand they're trying to drive traffic to HBO Max, and so I'm not really worried about it. I'd watch this in color personally. It would have been cool to have black and white, but it's not a deal breaker for me. Now, the other thing on this is the discs are primarily full of the movie, and you don't have many special features. The only special feature is called Road to Justice League, and it's director Zack Snyder reflecting on his trilogy of films. So Man of Steel, Batman vs Superman, and then Justice League. And this is also available in the Zack Snyder trilogy set, where you can get all 3 of those movies on 4K, but I already had them, so I did not need that, and I just needed the standalone release. So overall, I was very happy with Zack Snyder's Justice League. First, as a movie, I think it's much improved, and it is what should have been released in theaters. I firmly believe that. I thought the original Justice League was crap. I think Joss Whedon is kind of overrated anyway, and he's kind of crap, so didn't like him getting pulled into it. And now with, you know, what we've heard about him over the years, not a great person probably. So I'm glad he's out, and now this is the definitive version of Justice League, in my opinion. I would not watch the other one. I'll keep it for posterity's sake, but this is Justice League. This is what Man of Steel and Batman vs Superman were leading up to. So I loved the movie. I loved that Warner Brothers finally just bit their tongue and said, you know what, we got to put this out there. We screwed up. Let's let Zack Snyder finish this thing. And I love that they put that together and released it, hoping they can do the same for Suicide Squad with David Ayer, because I know they cut a bunch of his stuff out too and messed with that movie after Justice League and Batman vs Superman and all the stuff that was going on there. So hopefully they fix everything. But anyway, visuals here were very strong. Don't mess with the aspect ratio. Keep it as it is. I think you'll enjoy it. You get way more information on the top and bottom of the image if you don't stretch it, and I think that was important to the movie. And the audio was great as well. So overall, I highly recommend picking this up on physical, especially if you've only watched it on streaming. It's way better than the HBO Max stream, way higher quality, way better HDR audio. Everything is better. And if you've been waiting to watch on physical, this is a great release to pick up. The only caveats are you got to switch that disc. That's kind of inconvenient compared to streaming for sure. It doesn't have black and white. Streaming has an advantage there, but if you're looking for quality and the best picture and audio experience, this is going to be it. So I'll leave a link to Justice League, Zack Snyder's Justice League, down in the description where you can pick that up and pre-order it. Interestingly enough, copies have been severely limited for some reason, maybe manufacturing issues. Best Buy was supposed to have a steelbook, which the release got totally screwed up on, and they only have like 2 steelbooks in store. So it may be a little bit before you can get your hands on this. It's become a little bit rare, especially in store, which is crazy for a movie of this stature, but just be patient. You'll get it eventually for sure. And I really think it's worth grabbing. So link in the description if you use that helps support my channel. I appreciate it. Also, make sure you follow me on social media. All the links in the description, and make sure you're subscribed and have your notifications on so you can see more videos like this right when they're posted. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really enjoyed doing this 4K review. It was an awesome movie to revisit, and I really, really like this better than the original Justice League. So props to Warner Brothers for fixing their issue. But yeah, hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Stay safe and stay healthy out there, and I'll talk to you soon.